Hey loves, I'm Squid.
And I'm Cheer, and you're listening to
Not Your Pick Me,
a podcast that highlights gamers and content creators who are breaking barriers in hopes of making gaming and streaming communities safer and more inclusive spaces for everyone.
Stick around for some hilarious yet educational content. And just remember, no matter how much you want us to be, we're not your pick me.
Hi friends, welcome back to Not Your Pick Me. Today we're talking to Namaste Woken, aka Woke, Namaste Tiff, the amazing owner and admin of the Call of the Ladies tournaments, and just a fantastic content creator and streamer. We're super excited to hear about her journey as an admin in the competitive scene and her big plans for the future. Thank you so much, Woke, for joining us. Could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, guys. My name is Namaste Woken. Like Cheers said, you can call me Woke, you can call me Tiff, whatever you like. You can call me for a good time. I am the admin and owner of the Call of the Ladies, which is a competitive Warzone tournament for women that I created because I think that women deserve a lot more opportunities in the competitive space. And then I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch, live Monday through Thursdays, with a really awesome kick-ass community that likes to spread chaotic chaos and positivity.
Woke, we love chaos. So
I love it.
That's why we fit right in. So, Woke, do you mind telling us a little bit about how you got into gaming / streaming in general?
So gaming, I've been a gamer literally since I was a kid. I started gaming at like 6 with my mom. We played Baldur's Gate. I played all kinds of different games growing up, Final Fantasies with my dad, the Zelda games. And then I kind of started playing Call of Duty when I was like 12. With my first Xbox, I got an Xbox 360 for Christmas, and I got Black Ops 1 immediately. I got really addicted to zombies. And since then, I've just kind of always been a gamer. And then when the pandemic hit, like I think we all kind of didn't know what to do sitting in our house, like so much time, so bored, that I kind of was like, I'm going to give this a shot. I saw a couple other people who were streaming on TikTok. I was like, oh my gosh, there's more like women gamers out there. And so I said, okay, I'm just going to give it a shot. And so I clicked that going live button. And yeah, I'm so glad I did.
So are we.
Same. I would have to agree. But did you start on computer or did you start on a console?
I started on PC. I had to actually,
Okay.
I actually had to build my PC before I could start streaming. So when I made the decision to start, I attempted a couple of streams from my old PC and very quickly realized that was not going to happen. So I ended up actually like ordering all of the parts that I needed and completely built this one by myself. And then I went live for the first time on December 18th from this one and then kept going live ever since.
Hell yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't build mine. I bought mine.
I wish I would have.
I had someone build it for me. I don't even know what's in there.
It took me 13 hours to take everything from the boxes and put it in the PC and make it work. It was wild. Nah, I will buy next time. I'm gonna have somebody build mine for me.
I have a fan that doesn't move, and everyone's like, you just open it up and like replug it in. And I'm like, no. I'm not opening anything. No, I'll wait for him to come back to New York and fix that for me. So you started like pretty recently, but you are like just about to hit 5K on Twitch. You've applied for partner. You're gonna fucking get it this time. I swear to God, I'm gonna fight if you don't. Tell us about that journey.
So I started streaming on Twitch December 18th, 2020. And then it was very strictly to make friends and to give myself something to do. I was 6 months pregnant at the time. I am high risk, so I could not leave my house. I didn't see any of my IRL friends for 2 years. So I was just very like in the mindset of I want to find a community of people that I can play games with. And that first month like really blew my mind because I had already made friends before I started streaming because I was waiting on my PC parts to come in. I had made friends that knew I was going to start, but I hadn't yet. And they really like blew me out of the water that first month. And so coming back into it after I had my baby, I was expecting to like kind of, you come back from a break and you don't think your numbers will be there. You don't think like anything will be the same. And I came back and my numbers had actually like jumped, which I found that absolutely wild. And I did my first stream back was a baby shower stream. My community had like gotten us a whole bunch of gifts because they knew I was having a baby. And I had just like so much fun getting to hang out with them and like celebrate. And they got to meet my daughter. It's the only time my kid has been on stream. And it was just kind of wild. So that love that I felt during that stream, I think is what really solidified it for me, because after I had my baby, before I came back, I had actually debated on not returning to Twitch because I had suffered from a little bit of drama. That first stream I came back, I made the decision, like, this is something that like I never want to lose, was that community that made us feel so loved and like warmed and welcomed, because I had never had a group of people who were like going out of their way to plan something like a baby shower for us. When I got married, I planned my own bachelorette party, my own bridal shower party. I had planned my first baby shower. And that really was the moment for me that I was like, I'm going to be streaming on this platform forever. And from there, it just kind of like progressively grew more and more. And I was very confused for a long time of what to do or how to handle it, because like I came into this space not accepting or expecting a career. And then May came around and I was hitting like an income that could support us full time. My partner works, so we just needed to make like a little bit of a buffer to be able to be comfortable. And I was hitting that regularly. So I made the decision in May to plunge full time into content creating and take it really seriously. And I struggled for a while to make that like transition in your head of this is a hobby to make friends to this is my full time career. And it was kind of in that weird in between stage when I was still figuring it out that the lawsuits came out against Activision, and reading those stories, like it broke my heart. And I was just like very confused on what to do, because COD was such a game that I had grown up in and I loved so much. And I knew so many content creators who were like making positive spaces in it, but I still had no idea what to do. And I was a part of the Women's Week in Gaming that Girl Thulu put on, where we got a bunch of streamers to only stream games developed by women for a week. And that was amazing. And I was so excited to be a part of it and to see something that big come together, that after it was over, I was really struggling and kind of trying to figure out what comes next, because I have no idea what I'm doing with my content. I have no idea what my message is. I have no idea what to do with this platform that I just kind of stumbled upon. And so I was like, I'm just going to run like a fun community all women's tournament to support the women who love this game and play it, and like build some encouragement that like this community is special. And as much as it sucks that Activision doesn't always see us, I don't want this community to go away, because if we all leave, then what's left behind? And I feel like Call of Duty is a big game where we're making huge strides in gender equality for gamers. And so I planned the first tournament. Some pros got involved. All of my big content creator friends got involved. It was a really big success. That night after it ended, I had a couple girls be like, when's next, like the next one? And I was like, I don't know. So I just was like, I guess I'll plan another one. And then after that one, people were like, when's the next one? So it just kind of snowballed into becoming something that I was doing regularly, and like learning more about and finding these women and hearing their stories about. Some of them have been playing competitive gaming for years and have never been given the opportunity on a big stage to perform. And that was just something that like really struck to me. Was when I was growing up, I had no idea that I could make a career out of gaming, something that I loved and was passionate about, let alone make as many like lady friends as I have in this space. And it kind of just took over my life. And I was like, this is my passion. This was the message I was supposed to find with my platform. And I feel like because of my passion with gender equality and the Call the Ladies, my content, since I started centering it around that, it just took off. And I was like not expecting the 5-day subathon to go that well. And then coming out of it to apply for partner, and just kind of realizing that like I came into this, stumbled upon this platform that I decided I wanted to take charge of. And thankfully, luckily, found something I was actually passionate about to take charge of it with. So it's been a crazy journey from start to here in just a year.
That is seriously a crazy journey. That is literally like it's a lot. And like, so that means that you also are having to juggle and balance a lot of things as well. So like, what would you say is like your best way, or the things that you do to stay balanced between like streaming, adminning, motherhood, which is one of the hardest jobs of all, without hitting that burnout?
I'm very blessed with an amazing partner. He is an amazing dad. He loves our girls so much. And he has seen the growth I've been like made as a person. Like something I don't think a lot of people talk about is like Twitch changes you. And I was not very confident. I was very quiet. Like I had grown up, I have ADHD. I was diagnosed 2.5 years ago. And it was something I really struggled with for a long time, because like I was told to be quiet, to calm down, to chill out, stop being a spaz. Those were things I heard my entire childhood. And my partner has like seen me come out of this like shell that he said that I was very like timid before. And now I'm very not timid. And he's like, the side of you that I got to see that not a lot of other people get to see, he's like, I see it becoming who you are. So he has stepped up in like so many ways to make sure that like I can continue doing this because he sees the passion I have for it. And he really believes that like we can make a difference. And he believes in the same message I do, that he's like, I'm willing to help pick up on the back end so that you can keep doing this because like it's important, and it'll lead to something where we're both hoping it'll be a better gaming world that our daughters will come up into, and that we'll be able to start making a big enough change that their generation, she's going to go into junior high and high school, and it's going to be completely normal for girls to be on the high school esports team, and it's going to be normal for her to have friends to play with and game with, because I didn't have that when I was in high school. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it without him. He solves a lot of the burnout for me, because he will also realize when I'm starting to get tired, and he'll be like, hey, you need to keep one day this week off. Like, you need it or you're going to crash. And him to know me that well, and for me to be able to listen to him, it's really saved me for those moments where I knew it was coming. And then if I hadn't taken that break, it would have hit so hard and I would have been gone for like a week or two at a time. And instead it's like, no, I'm going to remove myself for this day and then go right back into it. And it's just like, we both feel very blessed that, you know, our kids get to stay home with us. We both get to be full-time present with them. And then also both be able to be excelling in both of our careers while managing the kids. Without him on the side is also my mods. Like, people do not talk enough about how much mods do. There are so many times where I'll be like, I have to get this done by this time. And one of my mods will be like, okay, like, I'll take this off your plate. You focus on that. And that has been so helpful. I could not do what I do without them. I want people to realize, like, I might be the front of it and they might be my ideas, but without the people who support me behind me, there would be burnout. None of this would be happening. There would be absolutely no way.
That's literally all I could think of whenever you were talking about that. Is just like, streaming is not something that you do on your own.
Mm-mm.
Like, you can try, and there have been people that have tried, and there are actually been some people that probably have been successful. But the thing is it's almost like, you know, they say, like, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a Twitch baby. Like, it takes a lot. You've got to be able to work together and have those people that'll hold you accountable, that are going to be the ones that look at you and be like, it's okay to, like, take a break here.
That is so important.
Like that. So, like, even if you may not have people IRL that are as supportive of the things that you're doing, like, you definitely can find those online people that see your potential and are willing to be there for you every step of the way.
Yeah, because I've been very lucky. Like, my mods have become some of my best friends. It's very well-known fact my kids are not a part of my content, but my mod team is different for me. Like, there'll be times where I'm in a call with them, like, planning things, and my 3-year-old will literally be on my lap. I couldn't do this without being able to have that trust. And then the fact that almost all of them came on because they were like, I see what you're doing and I want to be a part of it. Because that was something I struggled with for a long time was, you know, most mods don't get paid. They donate time and they donate effort to you to make your dreams come true. And for a long time, I struggled with that, like, asking them for help. You hit a point where you cannot do it by yourself. And I hit that point in December and was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I literally physically cannot, am not able. And being able to have that team come on and be like, nope, we are a part of this because we want to be, and we're just as passionate as you are about it. You're just the one with the creative ideas and we help you make it happen, was super important and absolutely huge for me, and being able to take the next step and create what needed to have happen to be able to do the things we have planned.
That's awesome. I will say I love that you mentioned Doodle, because when you were doing your 5-day subathon, like, of course, my partner was like, one, that's crazy. You keep watching this girl and she's still going. And also, like, how is she doing that? I was like, I love you so much, but I don't think we will ever have that level of communication of just like, I know he's in the background supporting her and doing everything. I was like, one of us would snap. Like, we would, we would snap. And I totally get that and I understand that. But I was like, big fucking shout out to them for being able to handle that together.
We have amazing communication. Like, anybody who meets us in real life and, like, witnesses our day-to-day with each other, that is the first thing he says, like, your guys' communication is so on. Because, like, one thing I appreciate about him so much is, like, he knows the work it'll take, but he also knows that, like, it's the work that has to happen. And, you know, the work that I'm doing is in the front. and like I'm the face, I have to be here, I have to be the one in meetings, but like the work is both of us, because on the back end we do have 2 kids. They have to get fed lunch, they have to go down for a nap, they have to be put down at bedtime at a certain time, they still have to take baths. We're very lucky his job is more relaxed. He's like, I schedule most of my stuff. He's like, as long as he shows up and gets what he needs done in the day, they don't care when he does it. That has been a huge help. But for this 5-day subathon, we had help. We had planned 48 hours and we had help the first 2 days. And then when it kept going, there was a point when like I had to, when I went upstairs in the morning, we would do waking up with Woke. I'd wake up, I'd get words on stream ready, and then I would run upstairs and I had like 15-20 minutes to brush my teeth, get ready, see the kids, and check in with him. And that was the only time we had to communicate off stream, was that 15 minutes in the morning. And it was so important and imperative that we both like had everything like ready, that I would be like, okay, how's the girls? What happened last night? Are they okay? Like, but it was that like 15-minute communication. Like you really have to just trust your partner and like know how to say things and like reciprocate it and hear it. Cause those snap moments do happen, but we're very good at being like, hey, you're anxious, or you're angry or whatever, you're irritated, you're overwhelmed, but I'm not causing that. I'm supposed to like help with it. So take a deep breath and like, let's talk through that again. And we're very, 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 very good at being able to check each other like that, very respectfully, that the other person will be like, yeah, you're right. I'm overwhelmed. It's not you. I just need to take a deep breath. We're fine. And without that like partnership, there would be none of this. And then we are not afraid of like getting help. My little brother loves babysitting. I have two little nieces who love babysitting. There's a lot of times they'll come over like after school and we'll be like, hey, we'll buy you pizza. Can you keep the kids for like 3 hours? and they're awesome because, you know, family. Yeah, it literally, when you say it takes a village, like with the kids, with the Twitch community, with the company, with his job, it takes a village.
Absolutely.
For sure. What is the most challenging part of putting together tournaments?
I was very new to the scene when I started all this, so I didn't really know the pro scene. I knew of some of the bigger content creator streamers who played COD, but I didn't know about the girls that literally play this game 10 out plus hours a day, competitively, wanting to go pro. So for me, it's been a learning curve and a challenge to learn who they are. I learn every single tournament of new girls that are grinding to go pro, or who have insane talent or super cracked, and it's definitely getting harder and harder as we go to pick those captain spots, because there are so many women who deserve it. I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is being able to balance out the actual roster and having good tournaments that'll be entertaining and also get some of the best in it. And then something that I've had to like figure out, especially recently, is now that we are getting bigger and we're gaining traction and we're starting the company, there is the struggle of managing sponsorships while also managing the community. And because when I started this, it was supposed to get the girls in the community involved, and I can't always do that when there's a sponsorship tournament and they're picking who they want to play. They want to see certain numbers. That's how we can maintain that money side of it, to be able to put the tournaments on. And then on the back end, I was struggling really hard, because I was like, I want to make sure that the heart of why we started this is still happening. And that's actually why we started the Contenders Challenge that we just did last Saturday. But the Contenders Challenge was specifically for underrated ladies, or ladies who are newer to the scene. And this gives those girls a chance to get the captain spot, which is a formality, but it's also, you know, when you've never been given a captain spot, you don't know the ins and the outs of how to communicate with an admin, because there is a lot of prep work before the tournament where you are talking to the admin. I need Activisions, I need stream links, I need Twitter, I need buy-ins, I need all the information, and it's constantly changing as people drop or somebody else gets picked up. And so it gives an opportunity for those girls who have never been in that position to get their foot in the door and kind of get an understanding. A lot of them are always at like, well, what happens next? And I'm like, let me show you. Like, this is my job. This is what I'm here for. Ask me questions. Don't apologize. Like, if something changes, this is a part of being a captain and leading the team. And then on top of that, it also, in my opinion, gave an opportunity for the girls who are newer, up and coming in the scene, to reach out to the ladies that you look up to. Like the girls that you watch to get better, shoot a DM. tag them on Twitter, like get them involved. Because what was really cool to see happen with this last Contenders Challenge was some of the girls that got captain spots really took that initiative and reached out to the girls that they like admired the most, and then they played with them. And a lot of them showed up and showed out and like really impressed some of these pro girls. And that's just building the community more, is that networking side of, you know, sometimes it is, who do you know? And then Call the Ladies, the pro girls know our name. They know who I am. They trust our tournament. So they're more willing to be like, yeah, I'll play with you, because they know they want to play, because they know who we are, and they know that they're well-run tournaments that are fair. And then those girls that are just up and coming in the scene and trying really hard to get noticed have an opportunity to get those girls to look at them. And I think the challenging part that I was going through was figuring out how to balance both, how to balance the pro scene and the community that we were trying to build. Because at the end of the day, it is about building the women of gaming together as a whole, not just the pro scene, but also the girls, you know, maybe play casually to meet other girls or meet these ladies that they look up to a lot. Because, you know, not every single woman who plays in our tournaments is planning on going pro.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not planning on that.
Yeah, same. Big same.
A lot of them play because they see the big girls that they look up to playing, and they want to play against them to get better. And also it's a really awesome networking opportunity for them to get to know them and like build the COD community in and of itself. Because if we want a strong, solid voice to bring change, we're going to need a lot of us. And we're going to need a lot of us who believe the same thing and want the same message to happen, so that from the top down, they can hear us and they see us and they're like, hey, Call of the Ladies is pretty cool. What they're doing is pretty cool. Look at all these ladies who want to be taken serious in this scene. And then I can take that and like look at some of these brands and be like, we have the girls and the viewership and whatever you're looking for. Give us an opportunity to show you how serious we are about it.
Like, as someone who competes in your tournaments, and like, I'm not a competitor. I don't think I'm good at Warzone, but like, it's been so awesome to have these other like big women who like I watch being like, oh shit, I'll never be like that, like tweeting at me. And like, you know, Swisham was like, you were frying. And I was like, thanks. And then I had to Google like, what the fuck does frying mean? And then, and then like Brittany Reigns invited me to her tournament because she saw I was in one of yours. And then like I played in a tournament with fucking Kaylee. And like, just, it's like, you are doing such cool stuff and giving so many awesome opportunities to like even women who are just in it for fun. And it's like super cool and appreciated.
And that's the heart behind all of it. And it's been very like reaffirming that the idea I had going into November, when I was starting to take this more seriously, to see that core thing in my heart, when I was making the decision to take it seriously, I was like, everything's just got to be based off of one thing. And what is that one thing for me? And it was gender equality in gaming, getting the girls equal opportunity and building the women's community in gaming. And I'm so like overwhelmingly grateful sometimes for how well it's gone and how well it's been received. And the girls that have played that I never expected to have play in my tournaments. You think when I started this in September, you thought FaZe Kaylee or Tactical Grandma or Swisham and these huge pro players like Sean J, I never expected them to play.
Except your girl OX.
Shut up.
And so it's been really cool seeing on both ends, the pro scene, the big creators getting involved, and then on the other end, the girls who have been watching but never took that plunge to put their name out there or get involved or try to build their skills up and their confidence. Sometimes I tell girls, like, if you know you're coming into our tournament and you know you're not going to place, one of the best things is it really builds your confidence as a content creator to be in there surrounded by absolute badass women who are leading the like grounds for this game, and just to be in their presence and playing with them and be a part of it. Like, it boosts that confidence for some girls to be like, nah, I belong here. And that's what I want to see, because they do belong here. And you know, when you play the game and you get told over and over and over and over again in lobbies, go back to the kitchen, you don't belong in gaming, it can be huge for some people to play and get that confidence of, you know, this is something really cool that I got to be a part of, and I do belong here.
I mean, it's so true. And like, the thing about Call of the Ladies is that it is so inclusive. And I already know your stance on this because you and I have actually talked about this. But something that's going on is a lot of organizations are who are focused around women and or AKA ladies have been challenged on their stances when it comes to like non-binary individuals or trans gamers in their communities. So how exactly do you handle these situations?
So we are 100% inclusive. The big message is this is for women. Trans women are women. So you're playing. That's period. Non-binary, I include them because if you think about it, non-binary people, women, transgender women, we all kind of go through the same thing in this space where we deal with hate based off of how we choose not to identify our gender. And it is just very frustrating. And that's why I've been really excited to see more women stepping out of their comfort zone and coming into my DMs and asking me, hey, like, just so you're aware, like, I am a transgender woman. Am I allowed to play? And I'm like, you're a woman. Yes. It has been really unfortunate to see, we'll post a tournament and you always have those people who come in and they like to say, oh, my tag buddy, they're transgender. And, you go to their page and you can very obviously tell they're not. And it's so unfortunate that it happens because what it does is it makes my job harder because when somebody comes into my DMs or they respond to my message and they say, can I play? I'm a transgender woman. I have to go and make sure now, which is so frustrating to have to do because of how many people come in and decide to just negate that fact that transgender women exist and they are women, and they like to make jokes about playing in our tournament and claiming they're a woman. And when you tell them, no, you can't play, you do not actually identify as a woman, they'll do the exact same bullcrap response of, how dare you assume my gender?
And that's really hard because you want to be able to trust people, but because there are crappy people out there, you do have to make sure that it's not one of those crappy people to keep the rest of your community safe.
It's definitely something like, as we've gotten staff, we've had open conversations with how to handle these situations because it happens so often. And me being very clear and like, we want to make sure that we don't accidentally turn away a woman who is actually a transgender woman who wants to play, because we get so many DMs of people who are men who are just making disgusting jokes. And so we really try our hardest to like understand who the person is before responding, going and checking out their Twitch, checking out their page, checking out their content, and like, making sure they're not somebody who will hurt the community who's making a disgusting joke. And it makes me so angry. And I've tweeted about it, and the Call of the Ladies has tweeted about it, where we make our stance very clear. You'll get blocked and banned and blacklist. And I don't care who I work for or how big in the future we are. If you do it, you stay on that list. And it is a separate list. It's not about the hack accusations or any of that. That is a separate list of mine of like hatred that we will not stand for. And you won't get a captain spot. If a captain tells me you're playing with them, the answer is no, find a new teammate, because it is so unwelcome in our space.
And you're your own organization and you're allowed to make those rules, so they could suck it.
Absolutely.
Like, it's one thing to DM me and ask if you can play and not realize it's for ladies. But it's another thing to DM me knowing it's women only and then pretending you're a transgender woman to make some sick joke. These are people who cannot play, period, because they will not be making a dime off of our organization if they don't believe in the core message of what we do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's exactly how I would hope most of these like women focused gaming tournament communities would see things, because that's really important.
Because of what we're trying to do, we have to make it marketed towards women to separate from men, because everything is for the men and we are trying to create a space of our own. And that's why a lot of the time, like, you had challenged me and I was like, I'm going to work on this. A lot of the tournament lingo is female male. And when that was brought to my attention, I was like, wow, that is so true. I don't know why we chose those words. And so now with Call of the Ladies, we've been trying to change thing where ladies is what we're going to use as like our term, because it's more inclusive than female, because it'll encompass more people. We make the effort to tell people you're welcome here, and changing the verbiage and changing the way things are set up so that people do feel comfortable to come to us in our DMs or adding us on Twitter and be like, hey, can I play?
Like, people get so concerned. They're like, oh, you're leaving men out. Like, you hate men. You just don't want men there. And that's not exactly the case. We're not saying that like men don't deserve spots in tournaments and that only women deserve spots in tournaments and that like you can't be here because you're a dude. Like, no, the whole point of this is to boost women up.
Yeah.
Like, you've easily got these opportunities. You easily have these opportunities to get into these tournaments. It is built for you. But the ones that are for women that are trying to build themselves up into the professional gaming sphere, Like these types of tournaments are what are able to do that.
And I've had to explain this to a lot of people. We do not hate men. I think that the guys at the top of this game put in a fuck ton of hard work. They work their asses off for where they are. They deserve every opportunity that comes to them. But the fact of the matter is, the gaming world has been designed for men for a very long time. And that's not any fault of one person. That is how society built it up. And that is the way, that is the product we were given. The biggest tournaments are ran, and, you know, the guys are ahead of the game. They've been playing this game forever. They've had lots of years to build a community. And so we try to re-encourage and get people to understand our message is not that men don't deserve it and that men don't deserve to play in our tournaments. My message in my heart is, for a long time, we've been trying to insert ourselves into the leagues that exist, and it hasn't been the best for us. We haven't gotten a lot of recognition. And so for me, on the back end, us creating our own space, every other sport is separated by gender. It's just the way, for some reason, our society is. And so for women coming up, trying to infiltrate the men's scene and make a name for themselves there, have found that like 1 or 2 women get picked up unless the tournament says you have to have a woman. How many women actually play in these big tourneys? And me being like, you know, that's just not very fair. And so we creating a league for women so that, you know, hopefully it's such a big platform. They'll have such a big audience and will have so much like leverage and power that this is a place for the women to excel and build up their own esports and their own games and their own competitive scene. And, you know, there's always going to be co-ed tournaments where there's crossover. That is so great. But until that is more normalized, not because it's a requirement, but because it is the way gaming is, I don't see a way for us to not have a women's league. So let's build something by a woman and by a team of women for the women of the gaming world playing, to start putting the starlight and the shining on them so that they actually start getting a chance to get bigger, get known, building up the women's side of gaming so that someday, you know, maybe we don't need a women's league and we don't need a men's league. It's just the gaming league, and we can coexist in this space with equal opportunity, and people will understand that it's not a requirement anymore to have a girl on your team. People are just picking up girls because they know who they are and they're cracked. I wish we didn't need a women's league. I wish we didn't have to split by gender. I don't like when we do, and I don't like that all sports seem to do this, because it would be very awesome if we could all just, you know, play together. But that's just not the case. That's just not the world that we live in.
So, Woke, I heard you say something about a ladies gaming league. Is there something you need to tell us, maybe?
I'm really excited because this is the first time I get to talk about it openly, because I know by the time this airs, you know, the announcement, we're going to be making the announcement here. So yes, we are starting I've got the paperwork back from the state. Like, we are licensed and ready to go. We'll be starting a women's gaming league called the National Ladies Gaming League, called the NLGL, going by the NLGL.
Go! That's so awesome!
I'm so excited.
Look at you fucking go!
It's crazy. Yes, and like paperwork, stamp of approval, all of it. Like, we're so ready to announce it. I've been working on it for 2 months. I've been dying, Squid, to tell people. So this is so exciting that I can actually like verbally put out there, like, yes, it's happening, because nobody knows yet. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah!
Yay!
Let's go, Squid.
Squid's ready to party.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting that we finally get to share the news with everybody. And you guys can go follow us right now. Go, go, go. Like right now, it's all live, ready to go. So
Wait, hold on. I'm going to join you. Hold on. We're being on brand. I got you.
I know it's been a long time coming. People have been wondering, what's the Call of the Ladies really about? Like, what's the next step? Is it just Call of the Ladies? Is it just COD tournaments? And now to be able to show people, no, we're going to be much more than that.
NLCL.
Let's go!
NLCL. Wait, how do I do it? You can't do an N with a squid.
You gotta get more arms
It has
involved.
8 limbs. You can do lots of letters. I've never been on a team with an N, so I don't know.
N L G L. I love that.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
I'm so
pumped.
excited for it to like finally be announced.
Hell yeah. So by the time this is out, people will be able to follow you on all social medias under the NLGL?
It's either the NLGL or the National Ladies Gaming League. So you search us, you'll find us. If you were originally following the Call of the Ladies Twitter, it will now be known as the NLGLGG. So yeah.
I honest to God am so proud of you. Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously.
I think getting the paperwork back was the moment where I was like, okay, well, I put too much money into this to fail. So
it's crazy.
I am so excited about it because up until this point, it's been just me and like background support. But like going forward with the company now that like we're fully launched and we'll be active and people will know who we are, to see the opportunities that are going to come and, you know, people who maybe like, you never know financially who's listening and who's like, hey, you know, I see your passion. I see what you're doing. And I'm going to come alongside you guys because the biggest thing for us right now is finding the finances to hire staff, to have the videos made, to keep things flowing. Because at this point, like I've been keeping it afloat with my own finances. And so now that we're official and we're licensed and the trademarks are filed and like people will take us seriously and like see the company brand, because like I have a bunch of ideas, but I'm still a mom of two and I still have my own content on the side. So it's kind of like a lot of things take the back burner or behind or delayed so that I can do it to the best of my ability. Like before it was one tournament a month because it took me hours to formulate into the tournament. Like there's a lot that goes on in the back end to make it feel professional, because for me it was very important that the ladies who choose to play with us feel like they're playing in a big time huge tournament, like where we have the announcement videos, we have all of that stuff, like there's special rules and they get like merch of ours to be able to wear for winning. And so yeah, to see what's going to come next, like this is how far we've made it off of just me just keeping it going. And now that we're officially licensed and a whole brand of our own, who's going to come alongside and be like, hey, yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. Like, here's the resources you need. And I'm really excited for that. And once we can have staff to help us and being a part of the creative conversation and keeping things going and planning what's coming next. And it's not just me, it's a team. Like, we're going to excel. We're going to take off even more than we have in the last 6 months.
That's the thing though too, is that there are so many big companies out there that love finding like a company or a project or whatever it is or brand that is just starting up that they see so much potential in, that they want to be the ones that were like, we were there, like this is us, like we have been partnered with them from the beginning, and so we are one of the main partners of this group, this community, this stream.
There's so many opportunities here because like we run tournaments that can literally have your name on it. You could do a Not Your Pick Me tournament hosted by the Call of the Ladies. And our job is to make sure that the tournament is run how you want it to and very smoothly and well put together. And then the Not Your Pick Me is the one that's like kind of doing the advertising. And that's a step with the NLGL that we're transitioning into. Is a lot of it has been my face. A lot of it has been centered around my username, has been centered around me being the admin. And we're going to be making the transition where like my face and me as a whole will be taking a step back with the brand and letting the brand speak for itself, so that when sponsorships are coming in and they're like, okay, we're going to run the Not Your Pick Me 2v2 invitational.
It sounds so good.
By the NLGL instead of by Namaste Woken or Call of the Ladies, because we're so tied together at this point. And that's why taking the next step with the business was so important to me. Was, okay, we need to be a professional brand outside of me. I need to start stepping away from the brand. I'm running it and I'm taking all the charge and I'm doing everything, but having the brand stand for itself on 2 solid feet, so that sponsorships, when they come in, don't feel overlooked by the fact that my face is all over it and has been all over it. What I've realized going in with the NLGL is like, there's a lot of opportunity for companies that have never been involved in gaming or Twitch to get involved, because we are so centered around women. You're not going to get this loyalty and this demographic from anywhere else. Like, you want to hit home with women, here we are. You see Gucci getting involved with 100 Thieves. Like, there are brands you would never think being correlated into gaming coming into gaming right now, because we're growing. We've got a viewer base. Like, we've got numbers that these brands want. And so that's my job, is to build a brand and a product that these people think is worth putting money into, because in my mind, that money is being put into the women of gaming that we're putting the events on to support. I don't make any money from this and don't plan to until it's so. The first and foremost is to not be buy-ins anymore and be $5,000 tournaments, invitational, no buy-ins. They're covered by a sponsor. And until that is regularly happening, I don't make a dime. I don't want to make a dime because the reason I'm doing this is to support the women in gaming. And I just want to get to a place where I'm not putting money into it. That's all I want right now, is getting to a place where like it's not costing me so much because I do have a family and that I can just be putting in my work and time. And then eventually, you know, maybe someday, like this is my full-time job. It supports my family and I get to do what I love. And I'm very blessed to be able to do both. Once we hit that first tournament that can have a caster, the streaming platform will change to the NLGLs. And so once that happens, like the plan is before that tournament, we want to do like the affiliate push. That way, eventually it will be full standing, just the NLGL. And I think once that moment happens where we will be fully functioning from just the NLGL socials on Twitch, Twitter, all of it, and none of it's coming from my side, game changing. Mm-hmm.
I know too, well, like, you're not stopping there. You have these goals and aspirations that go further than just tournaments. What can you tell us a little bit more about those?
With the NLGL, a big kicker that we want to do is start getting involved with maybe the younger generation that's coming behind us and helping change that message at a younger demographic of, you know, hey, look at this badass woman who has made a career for herself to support herself inside of video games. Look at this absolute badass pro player who constantly challenges these guys to be better and is like the top earner in Call of Duty. I want to see us as the NLGL go into high schools and to go in and challenge high schools to be like, hey, it's not intentional. We don't think that you're trying to exclude the girls. It's just the way gaming was marketed from the creation of gaming that people don't seem to realize how not having that representation at such a young age shown to us shaped how we viewed gaming ourselves. I would have never, ever, ever considered the fact that I would be a tournament admin and starting an esports league for women at this age when I was in high school.
I had no thought that I would ever be anywhere like this. I thought this was going to be
Same.
my brother. I thought this was going to be my brother.
And that's something we want to see change and with the NLGL and like big picture. What is the message for NLGL? It's not gaming, it's community, and representation matters. And getting people who are younger than us to realize that this is not just a passion, but it could be your job. You could be a tournament admin. You know, you ever look at the refs for the NFL? That's what tournament admins do, but in esports. So if you're passionate about video games and you like them, you could have a career here, social marketing, graphic design. You know, the gaming world as a whole has so many opportunities. And, you know, I feel like we're just scratching the surface with how popular it's really going to get in these next few years. And my heart and the message is we really hope that the girls aren't left behind. And so us being able, with the Call of the Ladies in the NLGL, to be kind of like a trailblazer for that of, hey, if you invest in this, this is where it can go. Like there is a market here. Put money into us as women in gaming because, you know, we will show up and blow your expectations out of the water. Because like the girls, you know, they step up and have fun. I'm sorry. I think the girls are more fun to watch than the guys because, you know, you have Chrissy here dropping 20 bombs, fucking singing karaoke like she's not in a huge tournament in grand finals. Like, what? Tell me what guy would be singing karaoke in grand finals instead of being like zero honed in and, you know, everybody plays the game differently. But women are so just naturally entertaining when they're doing things. Like multitasking is our bread and butter.
The amount of times I've killed someone in a Call of the Ladies tournament and the hot mic is just absolute laughter.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I literally every time, like I get so pumped. Like it gets me excited inside, like knowing that this can actually happen. Like could be a thing. Like I could see this happen within my lifetime.
It's going to be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Manifest. It is a thing. I get passionate about a lot of things in life, but the way that I'm getting passionate about this feels so much more personal because like I just feel like I was never talked to about like video games. My brother was shut down as well for playing video games in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then now trying to get women just as included within these esports organizations and these tournaments, and just overall the communities that are being created. It's fascinating. I don't know. I get really hyped up about all of this because it makes me very excited and makes me feel very hopeful for
that
like the
excitement
future.
comes from the fact that like we knew how it was. And you know what drives my passion and keeps me ignited is, you know, I've seen a lot of change. Oh, from 10 years ago when I was in high school, hell yeah, I've seen a lot of change,
Yeah.
but we're not there yet. And to come into it and like find out like November, December was when the passion like really hit me. I had a very long conversation with a pro player and she was like, you know, I don't say this lightly, but what you're doing has not been done. Like, I don't feel like anybody's ever cared about the opportunities that we've had. And she's like, I've done tournaments in the past. I know the money and time and effort you're putting into these. And I need you to like, from the pro scene, like on my end, it means so much because it's what we all want so badly. We just want the opportunity to play. Something she said to me that like, I don't think I'm ever going to forget was she was like, you're just the perfect person to do it because I can tell you're passionate and your passion makes me passionate. If my purpose in this is to get it started and just get other people excited, I am a hype man. Like that is my personality. I am so loud and rambunctious and in your face about things. So if
Hype
this
emotes
is
everywhere now.
Yeah, right. If this is what I'm hype about that gets other people hype, and this is my message and my passion and my personality can make you excited and want to be a part of it, then I'm doing my job. You're not a pro player, you're a content creator, but you still identify with our message. And then the pro players, they identify with our message. And so even the girls in my DMs are like, I'm never going to be able to play in one of your tourneys, but like what you're doing makes me want to do it. Do it. Do it, because the only reason you think you can't is because this space has been designed to make you feel like you can't. I had a community and an idea, and that's all it took was a community and an idea. Whether you're a streamer on Twitch and you got 10 viewers, 3 viewers, 100 viewers, 10,000 viewers, you can be a part of the conversation and bring things to the table and inspire other people to keep being a part of the conversation. It just takes talking about it. You can make a difference no matter what you think your platform is. You don't have to stream anywhere or have any community, and you could just play the game casually. And guess what? You're going to make a difference. You're going to be a part of it because you're a woman who's playing games.
You can influence one person and you can create the largest ripple that anyone has ever seen. You influence one person, that person influences 2 people. Those 2 people go off and influence more. And you end up maybe influencing the one person who is going to make the biggest change out of all of us by creating an LGL. You know, it's crazy. Like it had to work that way to get to you, to get to me, to get to Cheer, to know that like we could do it.
No matter how small you think your voice is, if you had 1,000 people whispering at somebody the same thing, it would be very loud. That can make a huge difference. So you might think your voice is small. You might be like, oh, I don't have a platform. I don't stream. I'm just a gamer. Like that doesn't include me. But it does, because when you add up all those little people who think they don't have that voice and you put them all together saying the same thing, now all of a sudden it's one big voice.
You also never know who's listening to you, who's like taking, like who looks up to you. Like for example, I was watching all of our mutual friends Strawberry the other day, and she just made one little comment while taking like a personality quiz, and she was just like, oh yeah, I'm always embarrassed. I hold myself back because I'm embarrassed that like people are gonna look at me a certain way, but I look up to Straw. So then I was working on a project and I started already getting secondhand embarrassment of, I can't put this out. People are going to think I take myself too seriously. And then I remembered what she said, and I was like, if Straw doubts herself, and I know she shouldn't, and I'm doubting myself, then maybe I shouldn't. So like, no matter what you say, it can affect someone, even if it's just a little one-off comment you make. Like you could inspire someone to do something.
Exactly.
And snowball.
Snowball effect. I mean, the Call of the Ladies in and of itself was a snowball effect. Like we had 4 pro girls come in because one girl was like, that looks cool, let's play it. And now we regularly host all of the competitive scene. It's a ripple effect for sure. We, as a community, as we grow and grow and grow and we get bigger and bigger, you see that ripple effect continuing to expand in absolutely crazy amounts. of people being like, wow, I didn't think that like this could really be done because, you know, the gaming world's already established. But no, it can be done. If you put your mind to it and you haven't like, you have the passion to make it happen, you can make it happen.
So at the end of the podcast, similar to Twitch, we like to do a little raid, send the community off to another streamer to check out, in hopes of highlighting other amazing and up-and-coming creators. If you could raid anyone right now, who would you choose?
On first thought, like instantly every time when somebody asks me like another creator that I'm very passionate about, I always say Strawberry V. It's STRAH Barry V, because she's been my best friend since before either of us started streaming, and she's a content creator that I think really makes a difference and connects very deeply with her community. But if I were to pick somebody strictly in the tournament world, pro gaming scene, especially of Call of Duty, I would have to go with Winterella's, because Winterella's is an amazing woman. She's somebody that I looked up to and still look up to this day. She does a lot to support the women of COD, and, you know, she feeds everybody on the timeline every once in a while. Like, she'll literally send people food. So if this podcast could go raid love to anybody, it would be Winterella's on all of her socials, because she does a lot for this community, and she does a lot, and I think she's bringing a lot of good change, and I love working with her.
Our pick for an amazing creator to raid out to would be Saskia Cole.
I love her.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I actually met her via Woke, who adminned for the Peter Spencer 2v2 in January. It was an amazing charity tournament for an amazing yet sad cause to help the family of a Black man who, once again, was taken way too soon. So she is super cracked, amazing at Warzone, has a heart of gold, does amazing things for the COD community and for the Black community, and is just an amazing person. So please check her out at twitch.tv/SASKIACOLE, Saskia Cole.
Okay, thank you so much for being here again with us, Woke, and being our guest on the show today. We appreciate you so much and all the things that you are doing in the gaming and streaming world, and are so happy that we got to hear a lot more about the things that are making you passionate and are giving you purpose within the gaming sphere.
Seriously, thank you guys for having me. Any opportunity I have to talk about it and like spread the message, like this is just another opportunity to, you never know who's listening. You know, you never know who's been wondering why we do what we do. And I love coming on to podcasts, especially this one, because I love you both so much. I believe very heavily in the messages both of you are pushing for women in gaming. To be able to come on, it's an honor to be here and be able to express what we're doing and talk about it more, because, you know, you never know. You never know who's listening.
You absolutely never know. And thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode of Not Your Pick Me. Please make sure that you guys join our Discord, follow all of our social media, and as of now, make sure that you follow the NLGL on all their social media, the National Ladies Gaming League, because there's going to be a lot of big stuff to come from them in the future.
Make sure you stay tuned.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Not Your Pick Me, hosted by me, Squid.
And me, Cheer.
Join our community over on the Discord and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more exclusive content. When you leave a review, tell us about the topics and creators that you want to learn more about.
Our executive producer is Janice Matsko of Empowerment Ventures, and our theme music was created by Brandon Peralta.
Until next time, guys, all my lovin's.
And thanks for hanging out.